Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're taking a look at Universal Monsters Frankenstein collaboration. This is Decepticon Frankentron. So, first and foremost, as always, take a quick look at the packaging. A very cool packaging. You see Universal Monsters Frankenstein in very freaky font there. Takara Transformers down the side. You do see the front image of Frankentron there, looking very cool. Just love the background electricity effect there. Some really nice detail, just very well done as always. You see the collaboration logo there. Interestingly enough, yeah, he is a Decepticon Frankentron Hasbro. On the side, pretty much the same Authentics logo, Frankenstein. You see his noggin there. On the top, you see more Transformers. On the bottom, you see some product information. On the side, you have your sort of faux VHS tape, where it comes out of the box. You have the Decepticon logo, Universal Monsters Frankenstein, Frankentron. You have some Cybertronian writing right there. I'm not sure what that says. I'm sure someone will decode that, hopefully. And on the back is where we see our product shot. So there is Frankentron in his robot mode. Now, again, interestingly enough, it does not have the conversion steps. But if you have Impactor, you pretty much know how to transform this guy. But he does come with some very cool blast effects and a new weapon and tons of just really nice paint and some molded detail. So anyways, he does turn into the tank there. The collaboration logo again, trademarks, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I can't wait to bust this Frankentron open. See what this monster is all about. Okay, so just opening up the box before we actually get him out of the box. This just slides out and then it reveals the Frankentron figure inside. So just taking a quick look at him. Not going to go into too much detail, but that is kind of how he comes packaged. And then it is in open packaging, and you see his blast effects down at the bottom. And again, you see that sort of faux VHS tape and the collaboration logo there. So anyways, that is how he comes packaged. I really like this packaging a lot. I kind of wish they did this with more figures. But anyways, enough talk. Let's get this Frankentron out and see how scary he is. All right, here we have Frankentron out of the box, and I'm just using a backdrop here I made for a Halloween party a long time ago. It's a Frankenstein. I thought it was very fitting for the video. So anyways, let's take a quick look at the accessories before we get into Frankentron's details. First and foremost is his weapon. This is a very, very cool inclusion here. It's done in a sort of seafoam green plastic with some very nice silver paint over the top. And I think it's supposed to emulate that thing we saw on the package, this sort of sphere with the electricity coming out. It looks very similar to that. So very, very well done. Some very nice detail and some very cool sculpt work. And it wouldn't be complete without the blast effects that he comes with, and a very cool blast effect. It's done in a sort of clear purple plastic. And I just love how asymmetrical this is. It's very, very organic looking and very, it's something we've never really seen before. So it does have a port there, and it does have a handle here for, if you want to plug it into any 5mm port. But basically what the instructions say is to plug it in like that. And then this is a little bit strange. It says to sort of plug it into his arm, like on the side, like that. I'm not really sure. I guess maybe because like the energy or like the electricity is coming down and like going into his body and making him come alive or something. I'm not sure if that's, that was their intent or whatever. But like as a handheld weapon, you can't really put it in his, he can't really hold it, which is very interesting. So you can't really hold it as like a handheld weapon. The stem's not long enough. But one thing you can do is there's a little peg coming out of the forearm, so you can plug it in like that. So you can like have it coming off his forearm like that. But as far as like a handheld weapon, you can't really hold it. So very interesting choice there. But anyways, putting that down. So yeah, some very nice, a new blast effect and a new weapon, which is very, very cool. So we'll be doing some comparisons with Impactor here in a few seconds. But first and foremost, let's take a look at that monster noggin. There is Frankentron. Very, very cool. I really wish this had light piping. Like, why doesn't this have light piping? You get some really nice red paint for the eyes. And again, that sort of seafoam green for the face. And you do see the little, bolts coming out of the neck. But yeah, just imagine if this had light piping, how piercing those red eyes would be. It would be so cool. And yeah, going down the figure, just, oh man, this is so nice to look at. You do see a Decepticon logo there. It's very hard to tell, but just sculpted detail and paint all over the place. I really like how this is sort of hidden there. You get some nice silver paint there. Again, a very, it is the Impactor mold, so if you have that, you've seen it all before. But just the differences in the green and the silver and the sort of gunmetal gray is just a very nice contrast. He does have that sort of thing on his leg there, some nice silver detail there. Going down his leg, some nice paint on the knees, paint on the shins. Again, the legs are pretty much the same. And he does have the sort of Decepticon logo on his legs. And just some really nice detail there. And on his side there, and that's how he looks from the back. But yeah, as far as like just aesthetically, it just looks really nice. So some very cool detail. And then you do see the cannon on top. Again, it's pretty much the same as you saw with Impactor, just done in a sort of light gray plastic. You get a little bit of red paint there and on the inside. So yeah, overall, a very nice looking figure. So speaking of Impactor, let's get that guy in here. Let's get in here. This is the War for Cybertron Impactor. So just curious kind of what they did here. So obviously the head is different. The cannon looks to be about the same. The chest piece is different. The waist piece or the midsection is about the same. Again, there's just a little bit more detail and paint on Frankentron and the legs. The upper thighs look to be remolded as well. And the whole bottom of the legs from the knee down look to be the same. Also, one thing to note is the forearms and the arms are exactly the same, but the hands are different. On Impactor, we have the closed fists, and on Frankentron, you have these sort of open fists here. And again, I kind of, I find it odd that he can't really hold the weapon. So I'm just curious if we brought in Impactor's old weapon, would he be able to hold that? I mean, I'm sure he would. So yeah, he can hold other weapons, but he just can't really hold the weapon that he comes with, which I find it odd. Like, am I missing something? Like, yeah, these are just not long enough. Can you hold it like this? Not really. I mean, kind of, but yeah, I guess it's just not meant to be a handheld weapon. So anyways, those are basically the differences between Impactor and the new Frankentron mold. So a new head, new chest, everything from the knees down the same. Looks like the thighs are remolded, the hands are different, and just the paint job is just bang up. Love the paint job and the overall deco. So articulation for Frankentron is pretty much, what you'd expect if you have the Impactor mold. His head is, it's on a swivel joint. Not a lot of movement. It would have been a little, it kind of makes sense. He's not very expressive, right? He's just kind of a dumb monster, but yeah, not a lot of movement. A little bit of wiggle waggle there, side to side and front and back. But yeah, his head can go all the way around. Now, the joints on this guy are very tight. If we move his arm cannon or the shoulder cannon out of the way, he does have a full rotation on the shoulder, and it's very tight. So nice to see there's no loose parts on this. He does have a shoulder joint there. He does have an upper bicep swivel. He does have a 90 degree at the elbow. And his arms can kind of go in and out because of transformation. There's nothing at the wrist. That is all just one molded piece there. And so getting his arms out of the way, he does have a full 360. Although it is upper, it's more of a upper torso swivel than a waist swivel. He can kick that far back. He can kick that far forward. He does have a thigh swivel there at the hip. And then he does have a knee swivel there. And he does have about 90 degrees at the knee. And again, the ankle articulation on this figure is very strange. I always thought this was very weird. I'm not too, I don't really like this articulation so much. And then he does have some toe articulation there. So pretty much like I said, if you have Impactor, he is pretty much the same articulated figure. So anyways, let's get this guy transformed, see what his tank mode looks like. All right, here we have Frankentron all transformed into his freakishly Frankenstein looking tank here. Let's take a quick look at the details. Front and center, we have that weapon that does act as the cannon for the tank. So very, very cool. And it does have some articulation, can go up and down like that. On the front here, we do see some really nice matte finish silver paint for the sort of the forks on the front there. You do get some very nice silver paint for the tank treads under there. Again, love that detail there with the green. And the imprinted Decepticon logo on the back here is a very nice touch. I really like that a lot. You get some nice silver paint for the sides here. And just, I just love that green and the silver. Everything on this, it just really works. The contrast is very, very cool. That's how he looks from the back. The other side, pretty much the same as the other side. And then his shoulder cannon does make for the cannon and tank mode. You see the Decepticon logo there. You get a 5mm port there. And again, we saw that in robot mode. And this can also be, if you want to put it over like that, you can. But that is, you change that. Articulation, yeah, you got the turret. The cannon, the turret does do a full 360 like we saw with Impactor. That can go up and down. And he rolls pretty well. So anyways, that is about it for the tank mode. Now, bringing in Impactor for a quick comparison. That is Impactor, the original figure for this design. So you can pretty much see where things are the same and they're different. Definitely more similarities in the tank mode than the robot mode. Pretty much the same thing in tank mode, just a little bit different deco and colors, obviously. But yeah, that is how they compare there. And yeah, I think it's a pretty decent choice for the. I definitely like the robot mode better. The tank mode is, it's okay, whatever. I'm not going to keep him in tank mode. So, anyways, this guy would not be complete. Getting Impactor off of there, this guy would not be complete without his blast effects, his electricity blast effect. So you can put that on like that and have him shooting at the Autobots or the other. I guess there are no other Autobot monsters. There's Dracula and this guy. So I don't know who he'd be shooting at. The people? Not sure. Teenagers who are trick-or-treating when they shouldn't be, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that is about it for the tank mode. Very cool. Yeah, let's pause and give my final thoughts. All right, so some final thoughts for Decepticon Frankentron. This is a very nice addition to the Universal Monsters series. You had the Dracula one before. Now you got this guy. Looking forward to what they do next in the series. And even though it uses the Impactor mold, it's different enough. You get the different deco, different head sculpt. You get a new weapon, new blast effect. So for me, it was different enough to get this guy. And it makes a really cool Halloween display piece, which I will be displaying it as in the robot mode or monster mode, however you want to call it. The tank mode is, it's okay, whatever. It's basically just the Impactor tank. I don't really care for it so much. But yeah, the alt mode, the robot mode, or the monster mode is very, very cool. So anyways, this concludes the video review for Universal Monsters Frankenstein Transformers collaboration Decepticon Frankentron. This is Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more great content. As always, till all are one, happy Halloween. Take care.